Welcome to the Perspective Podcast. I am your host, Destiny Hobbs, and today joining with us is my great friend, my great friend, Ian Gray. He's a filmmaker, a photographer, and he works on a few projects. He's currently working with a brand called Exwayboard6, and he also works in a company with his cousin, and the company's called MoonWaterFilmHouse. So we'll be talking about that a little later. But first off, let's get to know Ian. So hey, how you doing, Ian?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for wanting to have me on your podcast. I appreciate it.
Great. And so how did you start filming? When did you know that this was filmmaking and photography? When was the first time you began doing this, pursuing it?
Yeah, so it's actually a really funny story. But when I was younger, oh man, I'd say probably like 11 years old, my cousin Sean and my brother Mitchell, we would just run around the house being crazy and film little skits like with our iPhone or whatever. And we would always, shoot little things, even like we have this creepy closet upstairs by my room, and we just run around back and forth playing like zombies or something. We're just kids. And one time we recorded this video and we thought it was the coolest thing ever. So we showed our parents, and then basically all three of us had this idea. We were like, hey, what if we, film a bunch of more little clips and kind of try to paste it together and make like a movie? And so it was all uphill from there. Basically, we spent the next 2 years, and obviously we didn't know anything about story or character development or anything like that. We were just like, let's, show a bunch of gun shooting scenes. We had like a bunch of plastic little BB guns, and we were like, oh, we got to fight the bad guys. And so eventually we like started developing some characters. And so after 2 years, we had this 2-hour-long movie, and it was called Gray's Escapade. We still have it on disc. Like we watch it, once every couple of years. It's just hilarious.
Disc, and that's old school for real.
Yeah. And, basically it was a really cool moment because we had every single one of our family members in it at one point, whether it was playing a bad guy or a minion or whatever. But we invited all the family members over for like a Thanksgiving event, and we played it. And there's like 20, 25 of us there. And I just remember us watching it, the whole 2 hours. We had an intermission. It was great. And as soon as like the credits came up, and then like our family just started clapping, I remember Sean, Mitchell, and I, and specifically definitely Sean and I, looked at each other. And as like the clapping was going on in the background, it was like a rom-com movie, right? Everything becomes silent, and we just looked at each other and we're like, this is what we want to do. This is what we want to do. And so from then on, we were just like creating short little videos, and now I'm just doing it sort of full time, I guess.
Oh man. Well,
yeah,
that's fun. So when did you have a lot of amazing work, and so what roadblocks or struggles that you had to face, coming up and with this career that you're pursuing?
yeah. So, oh man, it's definitely non-stop struggles. Like even now I'm constantly struggling with even just being motivated to create new content, because I just think social media is this amazing thing that I love using to share, but I also hate it. Like I just cannot stand social media. There's so many there's like lots of toxic people on social media that promote the wrong things. And so really I'd say a big thing is just staying motivated. And some of the roadblocks being, no matter what, you're going to have, I guess you call them haters, right? So you post a video, you post a photo, and you try to share it, and you want more people to see it, not for clicks and views, but just because it makes you feel good that other people are enjoying your content, right? And so you get those people that are like, oh, that's a stupid video. I just got one actually like last month. This guy was like, he was like a 50-year-old doctor, like a surgeon. And he was like, oh, I can make a better video than this, and you could just sit there all day. Yeah, you could just sit there all day and think of all the responses towards him, but it's not going to make you feel any better. So I'd say the biggest stumbling block is just dealing with people that don't really have anything better to do than just to make fun of you. And no matter what, it does hurt a little bit. Like I'm not going to lie and blow it all off. It does hurt because it's your passion, right? You put so much time and energy. It's like a painting. You spend, a year working on this beautiful painting, and someone insults it. It's going to hurt your feelings a little bit, So I'd say that's definitely the biggest stumbling block that I still day to day struggle with.
Right. And so there's a picture that I love, one of your really photography pictures that you had. You're on a skateboard and you're kind of, it's a sunset, sunrise, you know what I mean? Can you tell me more about that picture? We're probably going to post it somewhere. But
Could you describe? I feel like I've taken lots of sunset photos. Which
oh
one is that
man.
again?
So you're on a skateboard and
Uh-huh.
you're taking pictures of a football player, or he has a helmet or something like that. Can
Oh
you tell me
yes,
more about that
yes,
picture?
yeah, of course. So that one, that picture was really special to me, and I made sure to reach out to this company first, that I'm working with to see if I can talk about it, and I got the okay. So basically, I've been doing skateboard stuff for a while, and one of the guys I worked for was in San Francisco. And so there's this startup company based in San Francisco right now called Mecca Incorporated, or I think it's just Mecca. Yeah, called Mecca. And basically they reached out to me probably a couple months ago, I think, and asked me if I wanted to be part of shooting their launch video for this product that they're creating. And I was obviously interested right off the bat, first of all, because I thought their product was really cool. Second off, it was in San Francisco, and I've done like little projects here and there, but to be flown all the way out to San Francisco to shoot this big launch video for me was a really big deal, and probably my big break is what I like to call it. And basically their product is a 70-mile-an-hour electric scooter, which I think is pretty crazy because, you know, it's just a stand-up. It's not exactly huge and, you know, ginormous, but the style that they went with and the tech that's in it, they put so much work into it. And so because of that, I was super excited to be a part of it. So long story short, they flew me out there. I got to you know, meet the designers, and it's really just the two of them. And they designed everything from scratch, and they had me write out the entire video and write out the shot list. They helped, you know, kind of organize some of that stuff. But that day we were, I don't remember what the airport was called, but it was basically this huge abandoned airport military runway in San Francisco. And we were able to get in and shoot on it. So we had this long stretch of this road, and then the sunset, or the sunrise, excuse me, was coming in the background. And I remember I would hang out the back of the car with my camera and try to film this guy flying by on a scooter. And so that's what that photo was it was him holding his helmet, walking up to his scooter. And the video should launch, or the whole project should be launched within the next month or two. So I'll definitely be sharing that. I'm super excited for you guys to see it.
Okay. And so what are your favorite cinematography or film techniques?
That's a really good question. I'd say I personally really like more high-paced films, or just because I guess my skateboard videos are kind of short films, right? I usually just call them short action videos. I don't know. I'd say just more high-paced stuff. I like showing whatever I'm filming, I like showing motion, whether that's like camera shake, but also trying to get it in a way that's not overbearing for the viewer. So I really like, you know, the simple like rule of thirds and very like cinematic shots that are in like golden hour or blue light hour. I really like that kind of stuff.
And what would you say is your signature brand? I would say you're a skateboard filmmaker, but what would you say is your brand?
That's something that I'm still, I'd say, trying to figure out, because it's hard, because when I give myself a brand, if I were to do that, I feel like I lock myself in to, you know, be like, oh, my brand is I'm a car photographer. Well, what if I want to photograph skateboards? What if I want to photograph, you know, weddings, married couples? So I don't want to just say I do a little bit of everything, but I guess my brand would be like high-paced promotional action videos, but then also weddings. So I don't really know if I have a brand yet, because I'm still trying to figure it out, since I do a little bit of everything, but I do want to figure that out eventually.
Okay, that's good. So if anybody was interested in seeing your content, do you have any social media connection, or not connections, but where can people find you to connect?
Yeah, so I'm on most social media platforms. Like I have an account on there. I haven't been as active lately, but I have an Instagram, which is where I mainly post all my photos and videos, Ian Gray Imagery. if anyone wants to check it out. I recently changed my YouTube name to also Ian Gray Imagery. So I have a YouTube channel, and that is obviously primarily all my videos, whether that's well, some wedding films I post, that's the other one. So mostly like skateboard, more high-paced action type content, and then Instagram.
Okay. And where did your passion for skateboarding begin?
Yeah, that was kind of a little bit more funny, I guess. I went to college, Grand Canyon University, and freshman year, I realized that everyone had a skateboard, right? So I was like, oh man, I got to get one. I want to be one of the skater kids. I think it's cool. And I guess a longboard technically. And so I bought my first longboard and I rode it around campus, and it was super fun. It was awesome. And then I quickly realized that a lot of people on campus had electric skateboards by this one brand, which is no longer in business. And I thought it was just the coolest thing ever, right? It's like a car, but smaller, and you can get around, and it's fast. And which is funny because I never really was an adrenaline junkie until I got them. And then basically I bought one, and it was the biggest piece of crap, biggest waste of money I've ever bought. And long story short, it broke like 5 or 6 times within the first month. And I do ride them hard, but I take care of them, but it kept breaking. So I took it to this guy who ended up fixing it. And then he noticed that I loved riding skateboards, and I also did filmmaking. And so from there, I sort of just kind of started doing videos for him and his company. And that was quite fun. And from there, yeah, and now I'm working for Exway.
Now that you mentioned that, I actually don't remember you walking on legs. You always using a skateboard at GC.
Oh, yeah.
Like, did you ever walk?
Yeah,
Seriously.
Seriously.
Stuff at school. I was like, oh. But yeah. And speaking of Exway, kind of segue into that, no pun intended.
That was good. That was good.
Question is, how did you get in contact with Exwayboards?
Exwayboards. So originally the big company that I'd always wanted to work for was Boosted. And that was kind of the company, Boosted US, or Boosted Boards, was the first company that I think started electric skateboarding and made it popular. And so unfortunately that company had went out of business, but then a guy in San Francisco named Brian, I think it's Schwartz, I think that is how you pronounce it, he bought up all the stock and started selling these boards. And so basically I reached out to him, and he was like, yeah, I want to work with you, I'll send you some boards in exchange for content. So for probably over a year, I did a couple videos and lots, like a ton of photos for him. And so once I had this portfolio, I was like, well, I'm ready to move on and do something a little different, work with a different brand. So I ended up emailing Exway, and this was probably about a year ago. I emailed Exway and I was like, hey, I've done work for all these different companies, and I was able to show him. And it was really cool because right away they were like, yes, we want to work with you. And so I had asked for this certain product, this really cool skateboard that I thought was awesome. And so when his name's Jimmy, when Jimmy was getting ready to send it to me, he decided to upgrade it and add a bunch of stuff to it. And then from there, I think they're an awesome company. They create awesome products, and I want to do a good job for them,
What are some of the skateboards? Because I've seen there's one wheel that's a longboard, then there's one,
Yes.
Okay, a longboard that's 4 wheels, and then I've seen one that's just one big wheel. So can you tell me the variety of wheels?
Yeah, of course. There's there's like many more now that are becoming more popular, which is kind of cool. But there's obviously the traditional skateboard, like the traditional electric skateboard, which is the one that I have way too many of. I have way too many. Do you want one?
I do. I really do. That's
Oh man, I have like 10 or more. It's a problem. But there's like traditional skateboards, and then there's lots of different variations of the electric skateboard, excuse me. Then there's one wheel, which is extremely popular because it's really right now the only company that's making a board like that. And so it's essentially 2 platforms and then the big wheel in the middle. And so there's that one. There's also electric unicycles, which are really popular, and they're really hard to ride, but I really enjoy them. So instead of riding like sideways like this, you essentially ride straight on. So your feet are right here, you're facing forward, and your wheel is in the middle. And those are kind of weird because you're standing up, right, like this, as you're just riding along the road. But yeah, I like my one wheel because it's really fun for off-roading and trails. And then also for every single one of my recent X-Way skateboard videos, I use the one wheel to film, because usually I would ride a skateboard and then hold my gimbal like this. And it just proved to be a problem because I try to hold it with two hands because it's heavy, right? But I need the remote controller for the skateboard. So now with the one wheel, I can have both hands on my gimbal, and then my feet, you just lean is how you basically ride. So I use the one wheel for all my skate videos, which is really handy.
What is that? This is probably not a skateboard or a longboard, but what is that wheel that a lot of people were using maybe in 2014?
Oh,
Marty?
that's it's like the dorky little hoverboard with the tiny little wheels, right?
Hoverboard. I would call it Marty's invention from what's the movie? Back to the Future. I said they're Marty, they're driving it now, they're riding on it now. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, those I've never tried those. I always thought they seemed really sketchy and they can't go over like 10 miles an hour or else they kick you off. But I just think they're hilarious because you've seen those videos of like the kids doing it, sitting down, and they just spin 1,000,000 miles an hour and crash into the wall.
Yeah, I saw it. Was like this. I've seen social media people like, this is so dangerous for this generation. You should be riding. I was like, first of all, the people riding I see are old people. Y'all falling because you just because you know learn how to balance. That's the first thing. Yeah, exactly. That is crazy. And then do you remember maybe in 2005 your shoes could glow in the can glow in the dark, I guess, and they had little wheels on the shoe. I think Vans.
Yes. I can't even tell you, Destiny, how many people I have seen eat it using those elements. They come into the cafeteria. Oh, I'm cool.
Right on the floor. I said, I'm safe with spinners. That was my fun. That's fun. Oh yeah, the little spinner thing. I was good with that.
I think I have one right here. Like I know what I mean. Right
Fidget spinners. Yeah.
I have a couple left over from like middle school.
Yeah, collections. Do you collect things? I see a car in the back. Do you collect? Are you collectible? Do you collect things?
Oh yeah, I was like super obsessed with Lego when I was little. I think that's why I love skateboards, because I can take them apart and put them back together. And so when I was younger, I collected just like a ton of Lego sets. And now that I'm older, I want to put my money towards like camera gear, that kind of stuff, or Christmas or birthday, I ask for stuff I really need. But I do actually collect these because these are like more adult Lego, I guess. So they're actually little Lego structures, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
And they're modeled after actual cities. Like here, this is kind of cool. You ever been to San Francisco? Here's the Golden Gate Bridge, and then this is Alcatraz, which is kind of cool.
Okay. And the car in the back too?
Yeah, I got this Christmas. I think this thing it's a 67 Mustang Fastback, and it's pretty cool looking. Like I think it looks pretty, it's pretty realistic. It has like a little motor.
That's Lego?
Yeah.
What? I thought that was like one of those. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's huge too. I did not think it was gonna be that big. I usually put it right here where my computer is, but it takes up all the damn desk.
Have you ever did photography on a small toy car and then did that illusion photography where it wasn't really real stuff? I don't want to tell any secrets, but I've seen photographers get like those fake. They go to the store, go shopping.
Yeah.
They buy those toys, the toys.
Yeah.
Relate our minds with those commercials. I was reading this article that said that sometimes the commercials, when they do advertisements for ice cream, it's not ice cream, it's mashed potatoes, because, and I'm like, that's deceit. It's deceit. I said, what?
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy, because the light, I said, of course, the light will be, because they take hours to redo the scene, rehearse and stuff, so it's going to melt, because the heat from the light will melt it away, but when I took that marketing class, I was like, my life's a lie.
I feel so deceived. I feel lied to. There's a lot of videos on YouTube where you can check out that kind of stuff. I remember one thing is like pancakes and syrup. The syrup is actually car oil.
Oh, and you're like,
so that it won't soak into the freaking pancakes. Or cereal photos. Cereal is actually, the milk in the cereal is Elmer's glue, I believe. So it doesn't melt down. It's so depressing. It's like it looks so cool. I know.
Yeah, because when you go to like a fast food restaurant and you see the burgers are flat and stuff, but on the commercials they're nice and shiny and fluffy.
And juicy too.
But the next question is, tell me about the Moon. Is it called MoonWaterFilmHouse with your cousin Sean?
Yes.
Tell
Yes.
me about that brand.
Yeah, so that is our kind of side brand. It's MoonWaterFilmHouse is basically our wedding business. And so once we started doing videos, I think it was kind of Sean's idea to try a wedding. So we tried our first wedding, of course, did it for free, did the next two, I think, for free. And we decided that it's a really good market, especially where we are. So we're in Oregon, specifically Hood River. And Hood River is just beautiful. It's got a ton of wedding venues, and a lot of people travel here from around the world to have their fancy wedding. And so we thought it'd be a great market because we know there's not any other videographers. Portland is a lot more popular, but with Hood River, there's very few videographers. And so we thought we'd give it a shot. And now that we've been doing it for a while, we've probably done 15 weddings so far. And yeah, that's kind of Sean and my baby right now. We're really trying to make it grow. We have 3 or 4 weddings scheduled for this next summer. And yeah, I think doing this wedding business with him has really helped strengthen our relationship, which is really cool. It's definitely one of the hardest things I've ever done. And it's caused me to make some of the hardest choices because it is not easy. For me, I love working with people, but sometimes, people can be difficult to work with, especially at a wedding. So it's a huge challenge, but I like the challenge. And so what we want to do is focus on creating super beautiful, and we like to use the word sexy wedding films so that okay. Couples feel confident about themselves and something that they can watch and remember it for years to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that leads to my other question. You're already doing so much at a young age. And if you don't have to answer this one, but what do you see yourself in 5 years with your career?
With my career?
Mm-hmm.
Man, yeah, I tell myself sometimes I should think about that because I don't want to at times. I'm like, I want to enjoy the moment. But sometimes it's fun to sit here and fantasize and be like, what's going to happen in 5 years? Where am I going to be? I turned 23 within the next couple days, January 10th. So I'll be 23, getting closer to 30, which is a little weird for me. But I think, oh man, my throat is dry. All right. I'd really like to. Right now, I have a side job doing at a little grocery store that I enjoy. I guess I would like to go full-time videography. What I'd like to do is be working with some small businesses around where I live, doing skateboard content, and then also doing weddings. So I don't know how I'll be able to do all of it, but I would like to do half and half. I really would like to make a priority to the wedding business because I think it's a really good market, but then also skateboarding stuff by far is just my passion. It's not that I don't love doing wedding films. I love it. But the rush I get when filming on a skateboard and then sending it to these companies that they can use for ads it's just a different feeling. So I'd like to do full-time wedding films and full-time skateboard stuff. Okay. Yeah.
So in closing, I do have this thing called rapid fire questions.
Oh man, how fast?
It's not right. Okay, so the first question: texting or talking?
Talking, 100%.
Okay. Favorite day of the week?
Friday, because I know I have a nice weekend ahead of me.
Favorite city in US besides the one you live in?
Favorite city? Oh man, I haven't explored any. So I'm gonna say San Francisco because it was super fun.
Okay. Last song you downloaded?
Spotify.
Oh man. This isn't timed, but I might play the Jeopardy 60 seconds thing.
Oh no, I found it. It's okay. Go hard or go home. Wiz Khalifa, because I like Fast and Furious movies.
Okay. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
Oh man, talk to animals. I think I love animals.
What type of animal? And what would you talk to them about?
So we have 4 cats, and they all have their own personality. So totally our cats. And then it'd be cool to talk to like, I don't know, like a bird flying, like an eagle or something flying through the air to see what, ask what they've seen. Or my uncle's got some cows up on the farm, so ask them what they've been up to. I don't know, something like
Okay,
that.
Eliza Thornberry, I see.
Yeah, exactly.
Nickname your parents used to call you, and if it's embarrassing, we can skip that question.
I don't think I had. Okay, I think it was like Ian Bobian or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite holiday?
Oh man, Christmas. Definitely Christmas. Not because of the gifts, by the way, just the family. We usually get a.
I like the gifts. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Good point.
The gifts and
gifts,
food
gifts
and
are
the family. That's sorry.
Family's all right, but give me some gifts.
How long does it take you to get ready for the day?
Oh man, depends. I'm gonna say I can. You know what? No, I'm gonna say a good 20 or 30 minutes. I'm a little slow.
Okay. Time is an illusion. That's what I would say. I get ready when I'm ready. Scale 1 to 10. How good at a driver are you?
Scale of 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna brag. I drive stick shift, so I'm gonna say a solid 9 because there's always room to improve, and we have tons of snow here. So
okay,
I'm gonna say 9. I think I'm pretty good.
All right. Last question. For a superpower, invisibility or super strength?
Oh man, definitely invisibility, so I can hide from people that are mean to me.
Okay. Or you can have super strength to knock them in the face.
Yeah, I like where your mind's going.
I need help. Okay, so I want to thank you guys I want to thank you, Ian, for joining us today on the Perspective Lens podcast. And I want to thank you guys for listening and watching. And again, where can we connect on social media with you, Ian?
Yeah, I probably wow, that was a lot of us. Definitely Instagram. Instagram is the best for me. I'll respond the fastest to you on there.
Okay. All right. So that's our show.
Sweet. Thanks for watching, guys.